All right, so this is D Sweet People News. One more time at it, y'all. I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice, okay? Never look straight forward. Always look around you. Be able to protect yourself by any means necessary, okay? Um, Quit putting your hand in the head in the sand. Start paying attention what they are doing to you, all right? One little bitty right they take away from you, and if you give them consent, they're going to come back and put three more uh, rights against you. Okay, you're going to turn a right into a privilege. And then it just keeps going and going and going because, well, it's just a minor thing. Okay, so always recognize that when you give them an inch, they're going to go ahead and take the whole mile. We've all heard this. Okay, and it don't matter what. Your family members, the cops, the judges, your exes, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. So sometimes we got to nip it in the butt.
Hello, sir. I'm Corporal Ben with the Sheriff's Office. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. The reason I stopped you is you got a busted tail light. It looks like you might also have a headlight out, but definitely a busted tail light.
Is that the one on the right?
Yeah.
Did it not work, or did it just have?
Well, you gotta be in white light, and the vehicle's got to be in working order as it is from the factory. So you can't have white light on the tail light. You gotta have some type of red lens over it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to pause there right quick, just because we're going to nitpick things, right? The officer at this time made claims. All right, he made a claim. He's not a witness. He made a claim. So he is a witness in fact, but he's also making a claim. We'll go back into your court papers, right? Not guilty, no contest, innocent, or not guilty, no contest, and guilty, right? You made a claim. You took that burden off of that officer's claim. Now he's a witness. I'm here led to believe and do believe this may be the case, okay? Due to my learnage. I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice. Do your own research.
I understand.
You got your license on you?
Why do you ask this question, please?
Because you're in violation of a traffic ordinance right now in the state of Tennessee, and driving is a privilege. It's not a right. So if you're not,
right there, he just made another claim. Driving is a privilege and not a right. Okay, he made another claim.
About the traffic laws, and I have the right as an officer of the Supreme Court to ask for your license. So, do you have your license on you?
Do you believe that I'm operating in commerce right now, sir?
I'm not going to get into all that with you. You're driving a motor vehicle on a state roadway, so I am going to ask for your license. And this is.
We're going to pause right there. So he did ask a good question here and on for the record, right? You're doing the investigation on them as well as they are on you. That way you can get your ducks in a row, right? He just asked a question. He just made a claim again. Okay? So he's setting them up due to the officer's claim. He asked questions. What did I say many videos back, right? Always ask questions. Do not answer questions. Answering questions will always hurt you. So he's setting the officer up because the officer is making the claims.
It doesn't have to be like this. I'm being cordial with you. I'm just asking you.
And I respect your authority. Properly applied, I respect your authority, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Properly applied. We got to see these key words, right? I respect your authority in the right standing. Okay?
What's your name?
I'd rather not answer questions. I'm sorry.
Well, if I can't identify you, I have no other authority. I have no other thing to do than if you typically right here is I tell you what the violation is. I further investigate to see if you have a good driver's license. I take into account your driving history. At that point in time, I could even cite you And if I can't identify you, then unfortunately the only other thing I can do is take you to jail because I can't prove that you're going to show up in court. So,
All right, so we're going to pause there again, right? Now at this point, you've heard me previous in the deal. He's going to do a rebuttal, which is great. Okay. Okay, officer, do you have a warrant? Go with the Mirandas. Well, at this particular time, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to read my Miranda rights or warnings. Okay, it's not technically a right, y'all. Supreme Court says they do this, but really it's not in the Constitution anywhere. But use it for your benefit. At this particular time, I would like for you to go ahead and start the process of reading my Mirandas. Because right now he's seized. He's detained. All right? Seizure is arrest. Okay? So get that Miranda read. That way you can start invoking a solid foundation on your standing. Okay? Right? We're investigating them as well as they are investigating you.
if you have a driver's license, I can get you along your way, hopefully, relatively quickly, okay?
I understand. Well, what makes
Stay away from I understand. Never, never, never say you understand.
you believe that I'm traveling right now in commerce?
Well, I observed you on the motorway, unless you
Yeah.
jumped out of the car real quick sometime while I was behind you, and I didn't see that, but I was behind you the entire time prior to turning on the blue lights, pulled in behind you, so I do believe you'd be the person operating this vehicle as of right now.
I'm
Right there. Okay. Now he made a claim still, but his absolute vague, ambiguous, absolutely of answering, wink, wink, the driver's question. What made you led to believe that I'm operating in commerce? He never answered it. He just circumvented back into the commerce part, but he never answered yes or no at this particular time.
I rebut the presumption, sir, that I'm operating a vehicle right now. I would rebut the claim that I am driving and operating a motor vehicle. Is it not possibly prudent for you to determine whether or not I'm...
Imagine waking up to a clean house, food in the fridge, and a whopping $5,800 in your wallet for no reason at all.
under privilege right now? That would be under 55, Chapter 50, and also under Chapter 65 of the Tennessee Code Annotated, which is carriers.
No, sir, you're not. No, sir, you're not. You're not.
What do you
And if I take this before a judge, he'll also state that, yes, you are in violation of a traffic law under Section 55 of state TCA, yes.
Yes. Well, I'm not. I rebut the presumption, officer. And what is your name, please?
My name's Deputy Bennett. I'm not an officer. I'm a deputy sheriff. So I don't deal with state. I don't deal with any type of city ordinances, city violations, nothing like that. As a deputy sheriff, my job first and foremost is to protect your civil liberties. Okay, that's recognized in the state, and the sheriff goes back through ages. Protecting your civil liberties as a citizen of the United States of America and the state of Tennessee. All right, so my job here is not to make your life difficult. My job here is to enforce the laws set forth by the state of Tennessee. Okay, so this isn't a city ordinance or anything like that. You're on a motorway. You're in a motor vehicle on a highway. Okay, you're in violation of a traffic violation, and I'm to investigate that. Okay, I'm duly sworn. Post-certified officer. That's my job. The next portion of this, I've identified myself. I've identified the violation. I've identified first and foremost, other than that I needed to see your driver's license. Are you going to comply and let me see your driver's license or not?
Okay, right there. See, he circumvented the word, right? He still made claims. Okay, but he's not using the word because they're using other trickery of words, right, to kind of mislead the courts and you as well. But this whole thing is still a claim. And the claim is he, in fact, is operating in commerce. Now, I don't know about the code, but every state has a code which pretty much mirrors the federal codes on this. And when you really go through there, it's everything has to do with commerce. Everything. Okay? Even your property tax is in the form of commerce. Your property, your private property, is in the form of some type of business, a citizen nexus.
If I have a license, which I don't admit to in this encounter.
Okay, well, I need a yes or a no.
What's the question again, please?
Would you allow me to see your license?
If I
need to see
have
your
a license, I'm not on the license right now. It would be.
You're what now?
I'm not on the license.
You don't have a motor.
See, that's a good word. He nitpicked it, right? He's not on the license. He's not operating in business, in commerce, right? So his license does not apply to this standing right now. He's operating in two different jurisdictions, okay? One is commerce, one is private, okay? One is public, one is private. So which standing in which jurisdiction?
License to operate a motor vehicle in the state of Tennessee?
No.
You don't?
I do, but I have it for the purposes of carrying goods or people for hire. And I rebut the presumption in your question, officer, that I'm doing that right now. Can you ask me whether I'm carrying goods or people for hire in commerce?
You're not carrying any people. I don't know about goods. That has nothing to. I don't need to know about goods right now. Right now, I'm investigating you. That's not the issue at hand. The issue at hand is you operating a vehicle under a violation, a traffic violation for the state of Tennessee. Okay, that's the investigation.
Now we're going to stop right there, right? He says that's none of his concern, but it is. You're making a claim that he's operating in some form of commerce. Okay? Where's the goods? Do you have evidence I'm carrying goods for profit? Right? So no. He does need to know this to be in the right jurisdiction and have the right standing against this man. Right? And vice versa. Okay?
That's the only investigation I'm concerned with this time.
I rebut the presumption that I'm operating and driving.
Will you please step out of the vehicle?
Okay, we're going to pause there again, right? He's doing a fantastic job of rebutting. I'm kind of up in the air with a rebutting and denying, right? So I may go into the standing of I deny such claim. Okay, well, the burden of proof is back on him because I denied his claim. I'm not operating in commerce, right? He just clearly says it's none of my concern about the goods and the vehicle, which is the right standing. He needs to ask the right questions, but also absolute, vague, and ambiguous, absolutely ignored that. He is stuck in a box. Okay? I would correct the words a little bit because, like I said, we're going to nitpick, right? I would say the here and now, right? You got past, present, and future, but we ignore some of the key words of the present being the here and now, right? When you use these real tight words, right? Even the present is broad because present is moving, right? But each time you speak, it's a here and now as well. So it just makes it a little tighter and squeezed, right?
I need you to put step out of the vehicle.
All right, I may do some follow him up on video because I think this is an interesting educational purpose for me and as well as for everybody else out there who wants to watch this video. Again, this is for my benefit that I'm sharing for me to come back and see what I could do different in the future or the here and now. Maybe I'll change my thought process. Okay? But rebuttals are great. Okay? But usually a rebuttal has to do a, if you're going to do a rebuttal, so their code of 543, that the officer's going by, you rebut it, then you must go by a code like 549 to rebut that 543. Okay? So that's what a rebuttal is. But once you deny that claim from the officer, now the burden of proof is back on him. You don't have to go back into the code 549 to rebut it. So that's my understanding. I may be giving wrong information, but that's what of my learnage, not anybody else's. Okay. So again, I'm just nitpicking the words. I deny your claim. You want it on the record. You're investigating them. You don't want to give them probable cause. Okay. There we go. This will be the People News. Educational purposes only. Till next time. Bye, y'all.